10 interesting facts about Seelie Fey and Tanu. 1. Inspired by many polytheistic nature-focused religions, such as Celtic paganism, satyrs, selkie, centaurs, pixies, dryads, nymphs, aziza, and jinn, and infinite types of physical representations of nature fill the courts of the Seelie court. All Seelie Fey are the spring or summer of nature. 2. Seelie Fey came into being around 900 years ago when the first Fey that were created abandoned the world of Tanu and formed their own plane of existence called Rog. True Fey hold much more power than their mortal counterparts. The Fey that dwell in Tanu consider it their responsibility to look after the local world that they live in. 3. Seelie Fey are not necessarily good or evil, but simply the growth and warmth of the spring and the summer months. Death, hunger, pain, and suffering still occur in those times, so the Fey represent those aspects as well, but with a more pleasing disposition to them. 4. Seelie Fey, also called the Shin, care greatly about the small local area of the world that they live in, choosing to hyper-focus their efforts inward and in isolation than to expand. They care about nature taking its natural course and consider it a threat or act of war upon them to change that. 5. Most land of West Ranfola is natural, with very little in the way of settlements besides that of colonies from other races that were deserted or destroyed and left to ruin. Fey occupy these spaces to help nature reclaim them. There is also the Forest of Frong, which sits south of the Blackwater Sea, which is a bastion of Seelie and Unseelie Fey who dwell in absolute chaos together there. 6. Seelie Fey are well known for their arts in any form of aiding of natural growth, the warmth of the heart, and skills in not being found. Their individual skill sets are very diverse due to so many types of Fey existing. 7. Seelie Fey dwell mentally so often on growth, warmth, and a striving for joy that they sometimes ignore the sufferings in others and can seem quite apathetic. 8. Seelie Fey all worship the gods and goddesses of Rog, with Nyaya, the major goddess of life and nature, and Quilanaso, the minor god of the wild world and of the hunt, as their two main deities. They believe their spirits will return to Rog when their mortal form passes. 9. Seelie Fey find it difficult to connect with non-Fey on concepts like loss and despair, for they perceive mortality and attachments as simply a shell that gets shed upon death, so death does not affect them negatively like almost all other races or cultures in the world. 10. The Minstrels of the Guinevere are a parade of trooping Seelie Fey who follow around the spirit of Guinevere, known as the most graceful spirit of dance and song. Sometimes counting in the hundreds, the Minstrels of Guinevere are a sight to see and hear, with many bards wishing to one day play among them. The troop is replenished with the bards who join in the music, feeling no reason to ever leave again. They travel across the world, and when they decide to be still and in camp, this location becomes a place of bliss and joy, blessed with the beauty and power of divine inspiration. Guinevere is thought to be a rising god, collecting faith and followers through her travels.